Got Jess me as well today from the athletics department. Today we just wanted to go through the Wahlberg week. We wanted to go through the toolkit, and you would have seen that toolkit in your either Canva or on Playbook. And we want to touch on some of the pieces that we missed out on in the webinar. And obviously these pieces are going to be crucial to get the most out of this week for next week. Obviously, again, remember starting April 17th, and that's going to go right through until 23rd. So today we're going to go through the workouts. We'll give you what those focuses are again. We'll get you familiar with the performance metrics. And we're going to touch on a lot around the points and the challenge app and how that will look for your members and for your coaches and for them to understand that process. So let's crack into it.
Straight away.
Cool. Far away.
Guys, this is Monday, so you got Underdog. Now, if you want all the information about the workout, obviously go to the webinar and have a look at that, or go to your workout information video. But for today, we want to talk about Underdog. Your focus is cardiovascular endurance. So we are also working an overload. So in between each of the working sets, what you're going to do is move straight away after that working set is completed to the next station. And then you're going to do between 1 to 10 push-ups, guys. That is going to overload the chest. Now, in this class, you are going to have a performance metric based on the erg. So there's going to be a rower erg and there's going to be a skier erg. Now, the performance metrics, each one for every day, you can enter those into the challenge app. So for the Monday and Underdog, you'll be recording how many max meters, so maximum meters in 90 seconds on both the rower and then the ski erg. Now, our top tip for this one, now I know you've got overload between each of the actual working stations. Do not do it before the rower and the ski erg. Jump straight on there, maximize the time, get ready, reset the rower, and go for that full 90 seconds. Then record those meters.
All right, nice. Moving into Tuesday, high roller. So the focus for this one, guys, is strength. So remember, we are trying to progress. We are trying to get them to push outside their boundaries, and we're trying to find a 10 RM. So it's going to be very similar to the benchmark that they may have done previously. So again, coaches, make sure they're set, make sure their form is on point. That's your crucial point here. Yes, they want to go heavy, but obviously form is number one. The overload today is your lower body, so they'll be doing squats. So very similar to the chest the day prior. They'll be doing anywhere between, say, 1 and 10 extra squats in between those sets. So it's a you go, I go format. So remember, they'll be doing those squats in that kind of rest time as they get off the main working period. So again, it's going to overload the legs. If they need extra rest or if they need to skip one of those sets, that's fine, take it. But the overload is the squats. They should be starting to feel the legs heavily by the time they get towards the end of that workout. And what we're tracking here is the 10 RM max weight. So when we get to the points, we'll show you what that looks like. Obviously kilos and pounds, and we'll talk to that later on once we hit the point system. But essentially, they'll be going to track in the challenge app what their 10 RM in terms of weight is for each of those movements.
Yeah, top tip on that one, guys, is if they don't achieve the 10 reps, then they're going to write down the weight that they actually did achieve the 10 reps. So if I did 15 kilos and I did 10 reps and went, great, I'm going to go up to 17 and a half, and it didn't quite make it, I'm going to write down 15 kilos.
All right, nice. Into Wednesday.
Patriot, guys, this is the Wednesday one. The focus is the heart rate recovery. So heart rate recovery, top tip here, you need to use this hydration break to rest, recover, record your heart rate. So it's going to go straight into your hydration. You're going to either use a Lionheart or a wash or record it using your wrist, where you'll actually be counting the number of beats. And so you're going to be recording that at the start of the hydration break and then right before the start of that next lap. So then you can work out the difference in the heart rate from the end of your first lap into the start of the next lap. And then you do it again at the end of the second lap and into that third lap. So you'll get 2 points that you're going to track, which is the difference in the heart rate during the hydration break. Now, we do have overload. So there is muscular overload of the triceps. So completing 5 to 10 tricep push-ups before starting that next station. So you move, do the push-ups, start the next station, guys. And if they need to go on their knees and really pump them out and use a bit more explosive power in those push-ups or change the hand position, just make sure those triceps are getting targeted by keeping those elbows tucked in tight.
Yeah, and just a tip here, guys. Remember, it is heart rate recovery. So educate your members around what that means. A lot of them won't necessarily understand the difference and what those numbers mean. So get in there during those hydration breaks and actually educate them around what they should be trying to do here. They should be trying to slow their heart rate. They should be trying to focus on their breathing, actually making the most of that rest during the hydration period. So, it is a key point of this workout, and that's a really cool topic that if you can educate them around heart rate tech, that's a heart rate recovery, that's going to help with the line heart tech as well. And they're going to get the most out of their workouts that way.
This is a good one to do a little video just the day before. Put it on your Instagram, put it on your members page. Really start planting that seed so they're ready to record, show them how the day before, if they don't have that wearable technology, how they're actually going to be able to record that just by feeling that pulse on their wrist, where to find it, and you'll be counting over those 15 seconds.
Yeah, and for that, if they don't have heart rate tech and they are just using the pulse, you'll see on the heart rate, on the hydration screens, when to track that and when to actually count those beats. So we've got it all sorted. In the hydration break, you'll definitely see when you need to start counting. All right, let's move forward into southpaw. So Thursday's workout, we're looking at muscular endurance now. So a little different to your Tuesday, and it should be a different feeling for your members. So again, education is key. You've also got the education and the challenge app for your members to watch and listen to. But again, educate them. As a coach, get in there and talk about those differences. Talk about what they should feel. Talk about the extra reps. And, obviously in terms of the extra reps and by going to max fatigue or max failure, we're trying to drop that weight. So it should be a lighter weight that they can move for more reps. So what we're suggesting here is 50% of the Tuesday. So 10% of that 10 RM that they would have done on the Tuesday workout. Now, if they didn't show up to Tuesday, or if they haven't done that Tuesday workout, or they don't know their 10 RM, tell your members just to come see the coaches at the start of the class and try and find some rough targets for them. Give them a range. Give them something to focus on. If that's slightly too high or too low, it's fine. As long as it's a lighter weight that they can do more reps on than 10 reps. They should be pushing realistically probably around 30 plus reps here.
30 plus, guys.
So it's going to be a real spicy one, and it should definitely get that muscular fatigue in those muscle groups. The overload here today is shoulders. Now there is no extra reps. So the shoulders we've just added into the exercise selection, but they'll definitely be feeling those shoulders. So again, as a coach, talk to that. Talk to that, precurse that at the start of the class. Hey guys, we are going to feel it through the shoulders today. The muscular overload is the shoulders. So they're prepared for that. They may already be sore from the Tuesday workout. So, make sure, you're in there, and if you need to modify it. But still try and keep it within that upper body shoulder heavy type of workout.
Yeah.
Now, what we're tracking here, guys, is your max unbroken reps. So you will have a long time. You've got a big, long set here to be able to do as many reps unbroken. Now, if they, for example, do 30 reps and it's only taken them 30 seconds and they've just banged out 30 reps in 30 seconds and they still have a lot of work time remaining, they can use that extra time to shake the arms off, rest it up, and go again. Now, they may do that 2-3 times if they want, but we're only recording what their max unbroken is. So, for example, they did 30 on the first time and then they only did 20 on the second one. They're probably just going to choose the 30 that they did the first time. That's their max unbroken reps of failure. That's what we're tracking as a performance metric, and that's what we're trying to improve on moving forward.
This is going to be quite challenging, guys, and you're going to feel a very different feeling for the actual muscular overload. So you are going to set that tone and be going, all right, I want 30 plus reps, and really pushing for that full fatigue. So you're going all the way. When you see the activation and the flow movement before, you're using that to open up. You're using that to really just get the body ready. So it's not, you don't want to treat that as work time. You want to really just open the body. And the top tip here is get the weights ready right in front of you that you're going to use for the work time. So for that 2-minute work, so I'm doing my flow, I'm doing my activation. Right in front of me is my weight. So when the 2 minutes hits, I'm boom, straight into it, and I'm counting those reps, counting every single rep.
All right, moving forward, Friday.
Swagger. So swagger is focused purely on power, guys. So you got power output. What you'll see is you're going to see 3 power stations that you'll be recording. So we have a big explosive jump, so a big broad jump, and you're going to use the ladder to record that. You'll also see a bike erg, and you're going to see a seated dead ball throw. So there's 3 stations through this workout. Now we've spread them in pod 1, 1 in pod 3, and 1 in pod 5, guys. So you'll be tracking the performance on those. You want to track that in the 20-second interval. So you're going for as much power on those 3 moves. So you'll see them in the challenge app. So for your broad jump, you're going to count how many ladder squares you've actually cleared. So if your toes just on one ladder does not count, I want to see the heels all the way over that ladder. On the bike, it is the maximum watts. So you need to set the bikes for watts, and it's just go. So it's full go, and how high can you hit on that wattage on the bike. And then for the seated throw, seated from the chest and a big throw, so you can have people seated on either side and they're throwing. And again, it is what it clears when it hits the ground, so not where it lands. So make sure you got plenty of space for that one when you're setting it up. The overload, muscular overload, is core. So you're going to see that all the way through station B. So no extras. And we put the core in there as well, so they're ready to go for the power. But you are going to be seeing core all the way through that class.
All right, Saturday into the weekend. All right, this is the big one. Remember, guys, this is where we have the concept to sync. This is going to be very exciting for all of you guys, including your members. It's the first time they'll be seeing that. So again, make sure that's set up and ready to go prior to the class. But what we're looking for here, guys, is teamwork. You guys have done similar workouts to this in the past, the ringer, for example. Make sure, again, they understand that it's a team-based workout today. All these other workouts prior are all individual targets. Today, we're focusing on the teamwork target, working as a group to get max meters as a team. It's not just a one-off event here. Now, what we're looking at is a muscular overload through the back and biceps, and it is heavy on the back and biceps. Yep. They'll definitely be feeling this one, guys.
A weekend party pump.
Yeah, they'll be definitely feeling it. And like I said, by this point, they'll probably be pretty sore already if they've done majority of the workouts through the week. So again, manage that as you need. And what they're looking for is the max team meters on each of the 3 ergs. So it's the same as you would have done in the past with the ringer and those type of workouts with the team-based ergs, where it's quick changes. They want to rotate, get on, bang out as many meters as they can to help their team out. Then we jump off, the next one jumps on, and we just keep that meter target going up. And you'll see that now on the Concept 2 screens, on the movement TV that should be showing, and you can see that bar going up. Now, again, the performance metric is the team-based score. So everyone in that team will record the same number in their challenger as their team-based score on all 3 ergs. So that's just something to be aware of. It's not the total meters across all 3. They actually record each total meters per erg machine. So this will be a really cool workout. We're excited for this one. It's something to really kind of finish the week strong as such as the big Saturday workout. But one thing to be in mind of is that second outside lap. So that outside lap, we've gone time-based instead of rep-based. But your 60 seconds is made up of those 2 exercises on screens. 30 seconds on the first one, 30 seconds on the second. Now, there will be no beep. So there will be no beep. So the members will just change at the 30 seconds on the screens. Now, again, if they're slightly over or slightly under, that's fine. As long as they move into that second exercise at some point within the 60 seconds, that's fine. But as a coach, you'll probably need to bring that up through the introductions and to make sure that they're aware that it's not 60 seconds per each. Per exercise, it's 30 seconds per exercise.
Yeah, so you got those combos, guys. There's some great combos in there as well. So really focus on the back of biceps on that outer lap. Say for one of them as an example, if you want to kind of picture it, you got some pull-ups and then you got some band pull downs. So you're actually going to be working the 30 seconds, and you're completing that combo of both those exercises. They're going to feel it. It's going to be great. So enjoy teamwork and you get some back and biceps. Wow.
Yeah, for sure. And by this point, guys, they'll be barely walking. They'll be very sore, I think, by this point. So Sunday, we wanted to keep very, recovery based, very slow, very, focusing on recovery, focus on slowing things down, not so much worried about heavy weights. So what we're looking at here is a intermittent dynamic recovery. They'll be doing a movement or an exercise. They'll be doing a dynamic movement. They're more of a recovery type movement. So as a coach, get them to focus on breathing, focus on the rest. They shouldn't be trying to do extra reps here. They shouldn't be trying to overload too heavy. We want them to almost kind of like wind the body down at the end of the week. So, really tap into that. And I think your members will actually enjoy the slightly different change of pace of the workout. It's not heavy. It's not fast. It's not, anything too exciting. It's just nice and simple for them to focus on their breathing and focus on trying to look after the body a bit more.
Yeah, as a coach, use this to really highlight technique and use the weighted stations to like lengthen and get good range of motion. So you're using those weighted to get down nice and deep, a nice big flow through those movements, lengthen the muscles, get some blood flow. And like Scott said, use it a bit more of a recovery. There's nothing to record in the scorecard or the challenge app for this one. We didn't want it to be, that to be the main driver. We want the main driver here to come together as a community and like celebrate the week with a nice flowing movement type style workout.
Cool. All right, so that's your week. Let's get into the challenge app. We just want to touch on how this will look. This is the part that we didn't really touch on too much through the webinar. So we just want to touch on a few things that your members need to be aware of, where to find this information, how they actually, record their scores and their points and so forth, how they can share that. So what you see here is just a static image of some of the key pieces. Jess, maybe you want to go through some of those key pieces, then we've got a little video for you coming up after this.
Yeah, really important to note, guys, for the challenge app, your members are going to have to update their app to be able to see this. So we'll show you in a minute of what it's going to look like from the homepage, but they will see an improved interface. Now, there's been work put in behind the scenes. So all your feedback from Benchmark is being integrated so that you are going to have a nicer, neater, cleaner, and faster interface. So here it's really been designed to flick through. So if you see down the bottom on that first one where it says team relay row, down the bottom you see an arrow. So you can actually scroll through quite easily and input your data. So, and then it's going to give you a score. So it is a scored assessment, and that's supported for every single day in Wahlberg week. So we're really encouraging those members and your members to come every single day and get that, like this, to be extra motivation. So they're getting a score. They don't want to miss out on a component and have a 0. It's there to motivate them to come every single day. Another feature that is absolutely epic. Now you can share the result and it comes out in a nice clean scorecard, so they can forward that on. You'll be able to see it'll have the Wahlberg and the workout logo. It'll have it broken down, and then it'll have the scores as well. So this is being integrated for Wahlberg week, but it's also supported then for your benchmark scores as well if you're running those in studio later.
All right, so a quick little video here of what it's actually going to look like live. So from the home screen, guys, essentially what we're looking for is that assessments tab. So you can see that just underneath the track at the top, that's what they're looking for, is assessments. And each workout, so underdog, Patriot and so forth, that is under a assessment. All right, so that's what we're looking for. And you can see here some of the features that you'll see. They'll be able to scroll through those workouts, like Jess said. They'll be able to basically just have that as a reel, and they can just roll through. And what we're looking for there, guys, if I just pause that, is underneath, you'll be able to see how many exercises. Now, the exercises is how many performance metrics they'll be tracking within each workout. So, for example, one workout may only be 1, which is just a max meters on the rower, for example. Another one could be 9 exercises. So that's what that means there. And then underneath, you can see the results as we get into it. So if we play this forward, you've got that nice little feature. Benchmark will get turned off just for this week, but we'll still be able to use that obviously in the future as well. So when we actually click into one of those workouts, this is the kind of screen that they're going to see. You can see there, this one is the blue arrow example. You've got the team relay meters. So your team scores on the ergs. Now you've got your 3 different exercises there, or an exercise is essentially your bike erg, your ski erg, and your rower. So you click into one of those, and for each one of those, they're going to be able to input their total meters or their score. And up the top where it says score, that will obviously update for whatever points they receive for whatever meters that team received. So if we move forward on this, you can see it's going to click into it. They're going to see a nice little video of what or how to do the movement. So this is something that they could look at prior to the class as they're walking in the doors or the night before. They can see what it should look like. They can then see their score as they update that, and then they can start putting notes or anything else that they may want to put in there. Really simple, guys, really easy to understand. If you click into distance to actually record the meters, so as this example, this one is total meters on the erg machine. As you can see, they click the distance, they scroll down to whatever meters they receive, they'll click that number, and then that score, as you can see on that screen there, it's updated to 12. All right, so their score will update as they start inputting those scores throughout the weeks for each one of those movements. So then they'll just roll through to the skier, to the biker, or to whatever their next erg machine is going to be, and each one of those will receive a different meters score. Now, once they've done that, so once the workout's finished, this is probably going to be something they do after class, maybe when they get home, maybe the next day, whenever it is, they can share that. All right, so what we're going to show you now is the share function. They can click that little share button, and you've got your different options. You can go through email, through WhatsApp, all your generic share features. Now, what's nice about that is the share function, guys, and this is something that as coaches, some of you may want to tap into, is you could actually say, hey, I want you to share this back to the coach. And as coaches, you may actually want to collect some of that data yourselves. Maybe it's who got the highest result, who got the highest team meters, and have your own little kind of internal competitions running throughout the week as well. But that's nice just to kind of get that internal kind of communication between members and to kind of have that little banter across the network as well, which is something that we always love. And also something for them to save. They can actually save that to their phone as well, or to their photo library, and then they can potentially come back and look at that in the future. So overall, it's a really cool advancement in terms of the Challenge app as a whole. But like Jess said, they'll need to do that upgrade. So in this next week or so, start educating members around getting into the app and actually starting to update it, because there is a lot of new features. There's a lot of things in there now that we put into this week. One thing that we didn't show on this little video is there will be a box where they'll be able to see the educational videos. So there's an education video for every single day, talking to the focus, talking to the overload, and trying to get them to educate, or trying to educate the members around what that means. So what is muscular endurance? What is cardiovascular endurance? What are the benefits? What should they be aiming for? There's a lot of information that we've put into those as well. So that's really great for the member to actually educate themselves around, what they're actually getting out of an F45 membership. And a big part of that was to actually showcase how much goes into an F45 workout. So, as coaches, you can still use a lot of information. There's some really good highlight tips in there that you could always take out and put it back into the workouts as well.
Yeah, it's great. And tag us, guys.
Yeah, tag us. Tag F45's page. We'll probably start, sharing some of that stuff throughout the week. So, yeah, the more you share it around, the more you guys use the app, and the more your members use the app, the more they're going to start understanding where all these things are. One thing too, just before we crack into the points, is those scores will update as they move through the week. So for every day, there'll be an individual score depending on obviously what the exercise was or what the performance metric was, and then that will update as they move through the week to get a total weekly score at the end of it as well. So let's go through the points. Jess is going to run through quickly just kind of what the point system is. We didn't really touch on this too much in the webinar, so we just wanted to highlight what the points and what that means.
Yeah, so like Scott said, all of this is integrated into the Challenge app. That is your go-to. So put it into the Challenge app. But if your members are like, well, how do I get the maximum points? Here's a little breakdown, and it's in your toolkit as well. It's a little breakdown, and they'll be able to even see that in the Challenge app just to motivate them. Yes, it's going to be hard. So you'll be able to see even on Monday, like 90 seconds, 600 meters on the ergs, that's going to get you the 100 points there. High roller on the Tuesday. Now we've broken it down. This is important. We've broken high roller down into a male and a female. This information has been based around benchmark scores. So all those inputs that have been coming through for the last 6 months since we've been running benchmark, they've been coming through. We've been collecting data, and now it's been used to inform high roller. So you'll be able to see here, there's male, there's female. An important point on this one as well, it is collected in this version in kilograms team. So raising that, just when the data is being input there, If you need to do it in pounds, then you're timesing it by that 2.2. So the 2.2 there to input the data. So sorry, you'll actually be dividing because you need to put it into kilograms. Patriot, it's the heart rate difference, so the differential. This is why it's important that you're ready for that. In the hydration break, know that it's coming and brief your members that it's coming, because they need to be counting it straight away and then working out the difference that's put into the app. So we're looking at really pushing hard in those laps and then using that time to get the heart rate to lower and to use it for the recovery to attack that next lap really fresh. So we're looking at a difference there of that 30 beats per minute. Southpaw, very important here. Those are all 9 exercises, so all of the 9 main exercises, 50 reps unbroken, like Scott said, not broken up into 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. You are just working out how many you can do unbroken there. So use the Tuesday to inform Thursday. So it's 50% of the load for that Thursday and just pumping out those reps. Friday, same as the rest of the week, we've given you those guidance. So we're talking about those max bike watts, and then the broad jump and the throw is really clearing those ladders. 10, guys, is like way out there. We know this. We don't expect people to be getting 100 points on those ones at all, because 10 is, yeah, exceptional. Wow. I want videos.
Yeah.
Blue Arrow as well. This is teams working very, very hard. We want to push the teams to be really driving for those max meters. You will see the concept twos where the 2,500, the 5,000, and the 2,500, that's where the bars are driving to as well on the concept two screens. So we have actually got a visual for those. So as your teams get closer and closer to the top of those bars, hype them up. That's the time when it's like, yeah, how exciting. And make sure they actually record it at the end. They can take a photo of the screen, so they don't need to write it down or remember. And then Sunday, no points, just focus on that recovery. So full body recovery. Now, all of this can be recorded in a printable version. We'll show you on the next slide, unless you want to cover anything.
Yeah, just one thing I want to touch on with the whole point system in general is really to showcase your strengths and weaknesses. So as much as it's more gamification, we're trying to get them to come back on a daily basis and do more workouts throughout the week than they probably would normally, which is great. We want that. We want a harder, tougher, week for them. And that gamification is key for that. But essentially what we want at the end of this week, the members can see, okay, I'm weak here, I'm strong here, and start setting goals off the back of that. And then coming to you guys as coaches and actually setting goals and setting kind of how they're going to target those and how they're going to get to that point. So as much as the points is a cool system, and I'm sure we'll get people having banter and all sorts of conversations saying, I got this point and I got that point at the end of the week. Hopefully, yes, they'll get a total score, which is just a nice little generic number, which again starts those conversations. But with inside that total score, they'll be able to break it down at a later date and go, cool, I'm struggling on this. I need to work on that. I'm great at this. Let's start looking at those goals for the next few months. And that's really, the whole reason why we wanted the points was to look at setting goals moving forward.
Also gives us a standardization. So we're actually standardizing something where it's like, once you put numbers around it, even say, for example, dumbbell flat bench press. Now, it sounds pretty simple. Input your information for a dumbbell flat bench press. Now, we saw many variations in terms of, are they counting 2 dumbbells? Are they counting just the weight of the 1 dumbbell that they're pushing, obviously, with both arms? Now, it's a standardized information being collected the same way. So here, it's really important that because this system is going to be repeated again, that we standardize it right from the start, where it's like, okay, if you're measuring ladder squares, I need you to clear the ladder square with the back of your heel when you jump, because when they come back and they repeat it next time, they're comparing like for like, and then they're comparing their points like for like as well. Was there improvement, and where did they improve?
Yeah, and just one more before we get into the scorecard is, there'll be every single result will get points. So even if you're way off that 100-point target, still get your members to record it. Everything will be percentaged off that 100-point target. So we're just showing you the top end, but it doesn't matter where you fall within that, you'll still get points throughout each of those workouts. All right, scorecard. This is now live in Playbook. So you'll be able to see this. You can download this if you want and print it off. Well, as much as we suggest the members use their phones to get into the app as quick as they can for the challenge and to really kind of use the app to its full advantage, some of you may find the scorecard a little bit easier on the gym floor and then taking that scorecard result and putting it into the phone later on. So that's why we've printed. That's why we've created these that you can print off, and we've made it pretty simple. As you can see, you've got your Monday to Saturday up the top. What you're recording, they can just write those numbers down. Once they finish the workout, they can then go into the app, convert all over, get their points, put their points in throughout the week, and potentially either just leave that scorecard at the gym, or they may take it home and bring it back within the following day. So it's just a secondary option. You don't necessarily have to use it, but if you think this option is going to be a lot easier for your members, and for the members that don't necessarily have a phone on them or didn't bring their phone to the gym, they can still record it and still get those points for a later date.
And you might have some new starters, guys. So if you have some brand new member, like if you're doing an open week, have some of these available, engage with those people, and then they can record it. Then when they're at home, they can download that challenge app. And then that's another level of like, wow, look, they're exploring. They're seeing how much value is in there.
Yeah, and I think, to kind of finish it off, it'd be really nice at the end of the week too, to be able to take a photo and really see an overall snapshot of what their week was. And then, like I said earlier on, with performance, targets and setting goals off it, they can see that all in one sheet, where they were strong, where they were, have a weakness, and where they may want to push forward into setting goals. So it suits its purposes. You don't necessarily have to use it, but it's in Playbook, and it's essentially the same data that you'll see in the challenge app. Cool. Other than that, guys, anything else you want to add to it?
Wahlberg week. Have fun, team.
Yeah.
Gonna be massive.
It's going to be good, guys. We can't wait. I hope you guys are excited. If you haven't done your Concept 2, definitely get that Concept 2 set up and tested. Try and test that before that Saturday workout so you can at least see what it looks like and make sure your machines are working. Get your members into that challenge app, and to update that app is another key information piece there. But other than that, enjoy the week. We can't wait. Hope you guys do. See ya.